I'm Bill Embody, and I got next.
You next up and you ain't been on SportsLifeTalk. Like, what are you doing? Hey, you better hit him up. Look, you breaking next and you up next. Keep the wins go hard. Rise a star on the big scene. Make them know who you are. You don't break a sweat. Don't settle for less. They put you through that test. Your resume that flesh. Who got next? Who got next? SLT, ready, set, go. Who got next? Who got next? Living my dreams and all your goals. Who got next? Who got next? You can ask B. Jones or head coach. Who got next? Who got next? You next up, so here's my vote.
SLT Nation! What it do, fam? Welcome back to another fire episode of Sports Life Talks. You got next, a platform that gives exposure to the voices of tomorrow. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is KT and I, and we are combing this country. We are finding rising stars in our communities, individuals who are doing big things and accomplishing big dreams. And today, KT, y'all about to get bodied. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We got somebody who I have been following his writing and his site since 2016, I believe it is, when I first signed up on 3, and I've been a fan of this man for so long. I'm so appreciative that we were able to get him on the show. But we're about to talk about one of the names that don't get mentioned in the headlines. Why? Because he is the one that creates the headlines, ladies and gentlemen. Tampa, Florida, SMU Athletics, LSU Athletics. Y'all make some noise for one of y'all very own, the content creator, the site publisher, the Bengal Tiger himself, Billy Embody. What's up, Wild Bill? How you doing today, man?
I'm doing well. That is one of the best intros I've ever been a part of. So thank you guys.
Man, we mean it, bro. We are super excited about this one. We got a cracking show for y'all. If this is your first time watching the program, some of y'all ain't got no excuse because we've had Jordan Wright, who was now LSU. We've had BJ Ojolari. We've had Terrence Laird. So some of y'all should have been here a long time ago. But if this is your first time, welcome to the SLT experience. I am your host, the mouth of the South, B. Jones, the OG, all things Louisiana. Put your L's up. Mr. Yeet is in the building, and I'm rocking alongside my brother from another mother. The other side of the logo, the Quiet Storm. Shh. All facts, no cap. The head coach, KT. Kev, how you feeling today, man?
Feeling great, B. Jones, but don't forget Coach Daphne Mitchell. She came and rocked with us as well, B. Jones. So
we had Coach Daphne Mitchell. We can rock with Coach Gary Reedus. Man, put your L's up, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm talking about.
I did that once, B. Jones. I'm not doing it twice, man. But to answer your question, I am great, B. Jones. Let's turn up, man. Let's go. I'm ready to go.
Let's go. It's 2024, the year of the Mamba. That means it is all about excellence. It's all about passion and persistence and determination. So KT and I are about to test ourselves, all right? So the first game that we play today is called the Moment of Truth. That's right. This is our version of two truths and a lie. So before the show, Mr. Embody has decided to create 3 facts about himself. But here's the catch. One of those facts is not true. After he gives us the facts, KT and I will have exactly 60 seconds to work as a team and deliberate and try to uncover the untruth. Kevin, we're not good at this game yet. It's early in the year. It's okay. But I got a good feeling. I got a sneaky suspicion that we might be able to win this one. Come on, give it to us, Wild Bill. Let's go.
All right, you guys ready for this?
Let's go.
First one I've got is that I have been to every single NFL stadium, have walked them top to bottom, touring them around, and been to games at every single stadium in the NFL. Next one I've got, I've met one president that is living multiple times. And then the third one is I've been privileged to sit around and smoke a cigar with Luke Bryan.
Oh, that's tough. Okay, Kevin.
I think the second one is true.
I do too, because
the SMU library and all that.
That's right. That's right. So we're gonna knock that one out. But Kevin, every NFL stadium, he used to be an NFL analyst, man. He used to work for the Washington. Back then, it was the Redskins. Don't cancel us. Now they the Commanders. But he used to work for the Skins, KT. So it is possible that he's been around to a
No,
long
B. Jones, I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't think he's been to the new one in Vegas.
Ooh, good
Okay,
point.
so all right, yes, right, yes. But when I was in the league, I've been
So
to
we'll say,
everything.
okay, so
I've been out
we'll
a
give
few
him a
years.
time period. So the last one,
yes, I haven't been to Vegas.
but
I haven't
Kevin,
been to
Luke
Vegas.
Bryan is always down there in Baton Rouge, dog. Luke Bryan is in Baton Rouge. He show love to LSU all the time. I'm lost on this one. What you say, KT? I'm gonna let you make the call. You an innocent bystander.
No, we both taking the bullet. So since you said he's always in LSU, let's go with the NFL one, man. Let's go with the stadiums.
Yeah, you're right. Good call. Good call. The NFL one is wrong. I haven't been to Houston, Denver, unfortunately, and I actually have not caught a football game at the Redskins Stadium. I only worked for them on the road. So
What?
I was, I set up all their hotels and buses, worked for their football ops president. And then the Luke Bryan one's cool. I actually met him by chance walking back from a coaches convention. I dipped in to have a cigar just my last night in town. And Luke Bryan was sitting at one end of the bar and Kevin Sumlin and some other coaches were sitting at the other. So we ended up having a little bit of a night there. And then, I've met George W. Bush multiple times.
Kevin, we got it right.
So you guys nailed it.
Hey, I'm feeling good. This is gonna be a
Good
great
start
show,
for you
ladies.
guys.
Good start.
It's not we like 14-31 or something. Why don't we beat Jones? This is good.
Yeah, the record is atrocious, but it is time, Wild Bill. Let's go. We need you to take your right hand. You know what you do before you go on any journey. We need you to reach over your left shoulder. We need you to grab that strap, pull it down, and buckle up. Click, clack. It is time to go to work. Y'all turn up the noise, turn up the volume. This is our time to ask you right now, all of my Tiger fans, all of my Pony fans. If you was watching Eric Dickerson, we need y'all to show us some love right now and do three big things. We call it the SLT Trinity. We need you to smash that subscribe button and become a part of our family. I promise you, we're going to be the hardest working podcast in the game with over 600 episodes on our channel. Number two, we need you to hit that like button. And I mean, hit that like button, create a new email address and hit the like button again. Why? Because that's what tells Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk that you like this show, and it's going to bubble all the way up to the top of the algorithm. And I'm talking about. And number three, last but not least, sharing is caring. That's right. It ain't holiday season, but when you get guests like this, it is always the gift that keeps on giving. Make sure you share this with your kinfolk, your play cousins, anybody you know. Go on your cell phone right now, smash that share button and send it to them. Now, Billy Embody, I've been rocking with you for a while, man, but I need you to show us some love right now. It's your people. It's BengalTiger.com, it's PonyExpress.com. Are they going to rock with Sports Life Talk and show us some love, man?
Oh, absolutely. They're getting the 5-star treatment on this one. I mean, giving you guys the positive reviews, all those things. They did it for me. They've got to return the favor now for you guys.
Y'all heard the man. Let's do it like we true to it on the count of three. Make some noise. 1, 2, 3. Boo! Yeah! Call it Baton Rouge. Let's go. Hey, all right, Billy, what's your favorite emoji that you're using right now when you texting the wifey, when you texting other writers, parents, and kids? What's your favorite emoji you using right now?
I throw the side eye all the time, or the what is it? Just the eyeballs. The
eyeball rolling
all
out.
the time. Just even to antagonize some people a little bit too. You can use it in all different ways. All
right, well, throw the side eyeballs in the chat if you did any of those three things. Why? Because KT and I, we think you a family if you showed us that kind of love. And we just want to tell you that we thank you and we appreciate you. So we don't do fans around here, Sports Life Talk. You're going to learn that real quick. We only do family. We don't do followers. We do family around here. So, Kevin, what we going to tell them, man? What we going to tell them when we see them?
Thank you.
That's right. Y'all make sure y'all throw the rolling eye emoji in the chat. Dun, 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 dun. Kevin, that's what's going on in my mind right now. It is that time, ladies and gentlemen, to get to know the man behind the pen a little bit better. Hey, welcome to the Sports Life Talk Initiation.
All right, to initiate you into the SLT family, you got to give us your top 5 music artists.
Morgan Wallen, Mitchell Tenpenny, Jason Aldean, Riley Green, and Man, who's the last one? I'll go a little old school. I'll go Kenny Chesney. I know he's not that old school, but I'll go Kenny Chesney.
Hey, didn't Kenny Chesney marry like a famous actor at one point in time, or he was married to a famous actor?
Wasn't Nicole Kidman? It was somebody like that, man.
I think that's right. Yeah.
And
then didn't Nicole Kidman marry Tom Cruise? Is that right?
She's with Tom Cruise now. She's with Urban, whatever his name is, Keith Urban or something.
Keith Urban.
Oh, because they're both Aussies, I think, right?
Well, I think it might have been Keith Urban that she married. Anyway, yeah. I dig Morgan Wallen. That is my guy.
He can jam, man.
I know the guys in the on 3 SEC fantasy league. I don't know if you've seen that in the group, but I'm in that group, and they probably gonna make fun of me after this comment. But I love me some Morgan Wallen, man. So KT, what are you giving our guy for his top 5?
You know what, B. Jones, since this has some LSU ties for you, I'm gonna let you. You didn't have to throw it up again though. I'm going to let you give it out today. What you giving him?
All right, Billy. How many years you been doing your thing on the beat? You've been writing. How many years total?
I've been writing for 13 years now, but for the LSU beat, it's 8.
Well, we're going to give you 20. We're going to do 30. We're going to do 13 plus 7. And we're going to give you 20. Let's go.
I didn't trust you getting to 30, so I'm glad you did cut it down to 20.
Yeah, I can't really count that high, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I'm from Louisiana. I'm from Shreveport. Y'all already know.
All right, so who is your favorite superhero and why?
Batman. One, I think just how he just takes care of his business. You know, he also lives a pretty good life outside of it. I know he gets beat up sometimes, but he takes care of what he needs to take care of and kind of does it with a good, like, he knows that line to walk that would turn him into a villain. So he's always kind of toting that line. But yeah, I think he's if you're a vigilante, you'd want to be more like Batman. And so I don't know. He walks the line of being a superhero and not, but I think what he shoulders just, you know, with some of the hate and underappreciation that he gets, I think that's what makes him special. He has to like shoulder so much to be who he is. And he's a billionaire. He's got some good swag, some good suits, you know, he's got a pretty solid life.
All right, Bruce Wayne, since every good superhero needs their own theme music, what would your theme song be?
Enter Sandman, Metallica.
I think that's the second or third one of those we've had too.
Yeah, that's a classic though.
I haven't been to Virginia Tech yet. I want to get there. I want to see Lane Stadium bopping up and down to Enter Sandman. That's I mean, and who doesn't like Mariano Rivera? So
hey, for real, I forgot about Mariano. Yeah, but I want to get to Virginia Tech as well. That has to be a crazy experience.
We had an invite, B. Jones. We just got to go down.
I know. We're gonna get that one day.
All right. So if you could shadow anyone for a week and learn from them, they could be either dead or alive. Who would it be and why?
Man, the dead or alive part is tough, but I would probably say alive. I would say Kirk Herbstreit. I think that would be awesome. Like pick a like, you know, he's got Thursday night NFL, then pick a big game weekend. That would be pretty cool. And then I would say dead. I would say Winston Churchill, actually.
Ooh, that's a good one.
There you go.
All right, so we're going to produce a movie that's centered around you. The one thing that we're missing is a lead actor. So who should we get to play you in the story of your life?
So I wear hats all the time because I have no hair, or you know, some people are a little less off than me, but so I struggled with this one because I didn't want to pick somebody that had a bunch of hair, and you know, then you're like, oh, come on now, that's just not even right. But I actually found one I really like. I would go with Jude Law. I think he's a really good actor.
Yeah, he is a good one.
He's got the receding hairline, no doubt, thinning in the middle. So, no, Jude Law is pretty solid.
I think that might be one of the best ones we'd had, KT. I don't think we could afford Jude Law, but
no, we can't afford
Jude Law and you, that would be an amazing similarities.
Hey, Jude Law can't afford you guys to produce it, so there you go.
Ooh, thank you. But you know who I had just from looking at that picture on the screen, B. Jones?
Who?
I had Fred Savage.
Oh, I can see that. I can see that a little bit.
Yeah.
I like Jude Law better than that one.
Jude Law is way colder as an actor, but I'm talking about.
I can't think of the kid who's mine. You remember the movie Inception with Leonardo DiCaprio? I think his name was like Thomas Gordon Hewitt or something like that. Thomas Hewitt Gordon.
Yeah, you're talking about the dude. He played Robin. He's supposed to be Robin and Batman.
I was about to say he was Robin and Batman. Okay, that's a pretty good one.
That was my pick. That was my pick, but
it's nice. It's nice. I like that one.
All right, so this is probably the most important question I'm going to ask you during this initiation. I know I got to get to B. But Billy, when we get a chance to hang out in Plano, what's going to be that one food spot you're going to recommend, and what's your go-to meal there?
Oh, in Plano, man, that's a tough one. I was kind of thinking like bigger, broader Dallas area, but it
could be the Dallas area.
Yeah, let's go down. Let's go down to like the design district. Let's do it big. Let's go to the Mexican down in just outside of downtown Dallas. The Mexican. It's actually not unreasonable if you're not going in there and just spending a stupid amount of money. Their tacos are really, really good, and their margaritas are great. They have like espresso martinis that are it's awesome, and you can get out of there for a reasonable. It's a nice spot, but you can get out of there for a reasonable amount too.
That sounds good to me, KT. I'm ready to go.
It's solid. Y'all should check it out. Check it out. Get it.
We're going, Billy. We're going.
We definitely will be there. All right. So if you hit that subscribe button or thinking about doing so, please do. Leave us your top 5 music artists, your theme song, and your favorite superhero in the comments. And finally, go to our website, sltugotnext.com, to learn more about us and other You Got Next family members. Now allow me to reintroduce our newest play cousin, Mr. Billy Embody. I wanted to say on 3, but I didn't want to do that, B-Cho. So let's go ahead. Take it away, brother.
On 3.
Yeah, on 3. Billy Embody.
All right, Billy, man. We're super excited to have you on the show. It's funny how I've been reading your comments and just being a part. It's funny how close you've been a part of my life and never had the opportunity to meet you in real life. So this is truly a blessing. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that's watching this the same way, right? They like, dang, I never knew what he looked like, or never really got to hear him talk. So super excited to have you on the show. But we got to tell them your story, Billy. We got to tell them how this whole thing got going. And we're going to talk about how amazing your career is. But let's take them back to the beginning, my guy. Let's go back to Tampa, Florida. Tell us, man, when did you start playing football? When did you fall in love with the game? And what made you start becoming a writer?
Yeah, the writing part, my mom was actually a TV producer, so I always kind of paid attention to the news a little bit, and in particular sports, because I love sports. So some friends and I, we started our high school's first student newspaper. So we did that kind of here and there throughout high school. So that was like the writing angle of it. I knew I wanted to go into journalism when I was picking out of college, but playing football, it was kind of funny. Like, I grew up playing hockey, a little bit of soccer, golf, some tennis, things like that, and then just kind of dabbled here and there whenever like our basketball team needed an extra player in middle school or all of that. But I didn't play Pee Wee. We played like I think 2 years of like church, not even a church we went to, just church league football in middle school with some friends, and that was like the first tackle football experience. And then went into high school and just played and was able to it's interesting, we played 6-man football my first 2 years of high school because we were a new high school. We didn't have enough people, and so they found a league for basically they knew they needed to keep all the guys that were trying to decide where to go to high school from middle school, and the only way they could do it was saying, hey, we'll be playing 6-man football, just stay, and then we'll be 11-man when the high school, gets a couple more grades. And so that's what happened. And junior year, we went on to play 11-man football and took our lumps the first year, but then we had a nice finish to our senior year, and I got some walk-on opportunities from some D1s, and then a lot of D3s and some FCS recruiting and things like that. So it was awesome. Got to SMU. Got a full ride to go there on scholarship, and they put the icing on the cake on it when my coach sent in my film, and they offered me a walk-on spot, preferred walk-on, and June Jones' staff was awesome enough to bring me in for fall camp, and went through the season, and then went through spring ball, and I kind of realized, okay, I don't think I'm going to get a chance here. And I knew that if I wanted to do journalism, I couldn't necessarily be on the team and then talk about the team. So I had to kind of make a tough decision there, and I went to the coaching staff and just said, hey, I'm still going to be around. And I actually worked in the recruiting department on my game days, kind of sending out mail to prospects. And so that was kind of what grabbed the recruiting bug. And during that time, I was going through journalism school, and then got a chance to write at scout.com at the time, and got offered the SMU site my senior year, and just kind of took off from there.
And when you first signed up with those sites, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm one of those guys who started back in. I'll tell you, my first recruiting cycle was the Keelan Williams. Do you remember that? I think that was like 2004, 2005, maybe it been. And it was like him. It was a kid out of Texas that was a wide receiver, who was a 5-star. I think Chad Jones was in that class as well. Okay. But that was my first class. But did you know, like going back then, that these whole recruiting sites would just, I'm talking about, tear the world up. I mean, these things have just became an essential part of college athletics, especially football and basketball. Did you realize, did you have the foresight, like, this is the direction and the wave?
So I thought there were two ways that especially once I got to college, but back in high school, I sat on Rivals and Scout all the time, and just, I wasn't paying, I wasn't a member, but either I borrowed a coach's login or something, and I just perused the sites and just looked at all these recruits and things like that. And then so when I got to college and the recruiting thing kind of happened, it was pretty cool just to kind of go from doing that in high school to then jumping on and kind of running those sites, or learning how to run at the time, especially. But when I was going through college, we also started the first sports show for SMU, Press Pass. And so there was a chance that somebody was going to make a mistake and put me on camera. I threw out some applications, at the tail end of senior year, and it was kind of weird. I think I could have probably gone to North Dakota or way out in middle of nowhere, Texas, or South Arkansas, and done some things, to get a start in TV. But I ended up just really wanting to stay in Dallas. I liked what I was doing covering SMU for Scout, and I got a chance to work for a marketing agency and do their corporate communications. And so I could kind of do both and stay where my friends were and just live in a big city. And so I ended up doing that. But I knew the recruiting site piece was that we had a chance to build something special for the SMU market, the way it was going. And EJ Holland had hired me back in the day, and he kind of kickstarted it. And then I just kind of was a little tired of going into the office every day, and I told my boss, I was like, hey, can we make this thing full time? And so that's when I got the opportunity to go down to LSU, and it really started to take off.
Man, so how many hours? Because you guys, I know you have a team of writers. I know there's a couple of other contributors that work alongside of you, but we get articles every day. And if you wonder who I'm talking about, I'm talking about the subscribers to the Bengal Tiger and the Pony Express. You guys are constantly putting out content, articles, whether it's from the recruiting side, even current Tigers or current SMU players. You guys are interviewing them. The work seems tireless. I mean, it seems like you don't get a break. I mean, how many hours are you dedicating a week to facilitating and running this site?
Yeah, it definitely comes and it goes a little bit. And the key thing is, and I'm lucky, I've got a beautiful wife who pushes me and works on the whole work-life balance thing, because, I'm single for a while and I worked, and then you worked hard, you play hard. And then, but now you got to kind of balance all the rest of the things. And we got a baby boy on the way here next month. So we're excited about that, but it comes and it goes. I mean, right now it's kind of nice because it's a dead period. There's no recruiting going on for the most part. You could kind of just take your foot off the gas, reset. Same goes for the early part of March. And then kids start taking visits, but there's no football being played outside of the colleges during spring ball. So we balance the team coverage and recruiting, and Matthew Bruni and Shade Dixon on the Bengal Tiger. They live in Baton Rouge still, and they're out there seeing the actual team, whereas I'm doing, and Shay and Matthew as well. But, I sit around a lot and I get caught because I sit there and I'm hitting kids up and I'm hitting their coaches up, hitting their parents up, and, trying to get in contact and find out when they're making visits. Are they inching closer to decisions, or are they locking in official visits, and just all of that? I mean, it's a lot. And so the goal is to kind of make sure you take your foot off the gas in like a February, a May, little bit of June here and there, but now official visits have really made that busy. But definitely July, even August. Most programs kind of tighten up, availability for watching the teams, and then the high school guys can't visit, so you kind of take your last breath before the season goes, and then you get into the routine of the season. And for the most part, outside of you're working Saturdays, and if you can manage it well enough, like last year, and especially this fall with Michelle being pregnant, I just worked late into Sunday morning, and then that way a lot of it was, I tried my best to take care of it so that we can kind of hang out and you balance family and you get your Fridays and things like that occasionally. But yeah, it definitely can come in spurts. I mean, there can be times where I remember this past December with the transfer portal, I said, hey, this month is key. If we do really well, it's going to set us up for a really good year. And so, it worked out pretty well that, I got a little bit of grace during December, at least until about the 20th when Christmas got close. And then we locked in on that. So.
Well, our LSU fan base, I can't speak for the SMU fan base, but we are different. And I think we're a little bit spoiled. And moderating that site, it has to be like moderating a preschool full of toddlers, right? Because, I mean, we got all kind of crazy comments and knee-jerk reactions. And we got Nuts versus JD. I mean, the comments there's no end to how much trouble we get into on that site. Now, my question to you is, do you sit back and laugh at some of this stuff before you have to lay down the law a little bit?
So I keep some mental notes on certain posters as far as like, wow, that one, just the mental gymnastics from where they were, and even just like particular topics, to then see the gymnasticking continue into another direction for a certain topic. It'll blow my mind. But I have to remember, I mean, fans are fans for a reason. So, I mean, they're excited, they're pumped up. But my issue is when I sit there and like my three of my best friends are all OU grads, or two of them are OU grads and one of them went to SMU but grew up in Ada, Oklahoma. So they're all OU guys. And when we sit there at the bar or we sit at somebody's house, it is a nonstop just ribbing and saying the most sarcastic thing, trying to get a reaction. So that's where I sometimes I try not to, and sarcasm just doesn't come across well. But like when you're getting into arguments with your friends, you get frustrated with them, right?
Yes.
And we spend so much time on these message boards. So it's funny now, folks on the site, like I'll use the term buddy or pal sometimes when I am clearly frustrated, to kind of overplay like, hey, buddy, like, no, I'm telling you, this is like what somebody told me, like, here's the deal. Or, you just kind of use it and you hope like it. I mean, it's definitely my sarcasm like pouring through, but you just try, like, if you're arguing with your friend, you're coming across like, how many times did you say buddy or bro or whatever? Like,
bro, yeah.
Yeah, like, bro, no, like, how are you saying that about XYZ player or what, and it gets a little like tense sometimes. I mean, LSU fans, like, you were on there for December, like people were wondering when Brian Kelly was gonna fire, Matt House and that whole staff. And
thank you, Brian.
And the crazy thing about it is that, throughout it, we kept hearing like different levels of, okay, they're going to fire everybody but Kerry Cooks and Matt House. And they just think they need to, reassess and double down on D-line and go bring back Corey Raymond to work with Kerry. And then they'll, Matt House isn't a bad linebackers coach, the blah, blah, blah. And then it was, all right, they're going to fire everybody but Kerry Cooks because Kerry Cooks is close with Brian Kelly. And then it was this, and then it was that. And then Brian Kelly went in there one day, and I am not kidding, like, just fired him. And that's the cutthroat business of it. And so, people just, Brian Kelly's been, and this is turning into this long answer, but Brian Kelly has been at this a long time, and he has friends in the business. He has guys that he has been friends with that he has fired before. He will aim to win a national championship with whatever decision he makes. And sometimes he might have a different style of doing it. I mean, Ed Ogeron won a national championship, Les Miles, Nick Saban. They all had these insane ranges of styles. And I'm not sitting here saying Brian Kelly's absolutely going to win a national championship. But as far as the floor is probably the highest it's been without a doubt since Saban was there. And now you have a chance where, okay, they have some generational type prospects committed for 25. You get those guys, now your floor is even higher if they pan out, and then you can just punch through that ceiling and you can win one. Whereas, we'll talk about the 2019 team, perfect storm, Les Miles kind of feeding off of Nick Saban's, and Saban doing what Saban did most of his career. There's just different styles, but you just sometimes got to take a deep breath. And I love the conspiracy theories, though. There are so many conspiracy theories that I just sit there and I'm like, I can't believe it. But I love being on there and engaging. So like I get called, like I get reeled in sometimes. I just get in there and I'm like, all right, I got time today. Let's do this.
You back at the ball with your buddies at that point in time.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like if you're sitting there and you say, buddy, bro, like come on, like what are you talking about? You might use some other words too, but like that's how it is. That's how I kind of try to. And it doesn't come across well on the internet.
Well, LSU Scoot uses some very colorful words in our text group. So
yeah.
You got to send a shout out to my guy right there. All right, man. Well, let's talk quickly about that 2019 season. I know we pressed for time at this point, but man, how crazy was that covering the LSU team when you get a transfer portal Joe Burrow, and it's like I'm talking about an undersized Clyde Edwards. You got these two wide receivers that one was a 5-star, one was a 2-star, and I mean, it's just like everything just came into perfect to a perfect storm as you described it. What was it like covering that crazy team? My favorite LSU team by far.
Yeah, I thought it was cool because I had been down there covering LSU for, I guess, that was my third season. So I had known some of the guys through recruiting on the team, but a good number of them had now emerged as stars and key contributors, which was cool. And then you had some veterans that I didn't know as much about just from the recruiting side of things, because that's how you start the relationship. Is if you cover them as recruits, then they're on the team. It's a pretty cool deal. But the coolest thing was just seeing the perfect storm of all that talent come together and how hard they worked in the offseason. I think as you look back on that team was built in the offseason. It was built by Joe Burrow throwing, all those routes with those guys. It was the, kind of stroke of luck and brilliance, that combination with Joe Brady coming in. It was Dave Aranda having all the tools to do what he did and build a great defense. And then, the development of Jamar and Justin and Terrace, catching 10,000 balls each.
And Thaddeus.
And Thaddeus. Don't forget. And, those guys just all coming together. It was that team was built in the offseason. So for them to just, once they beat Texas, I thought, okay, they're going to have they're going to have a chance here. And then they really just rolled through a lot of the schedule. And, I never felt like with that team, it was never a moment of like doubt that something was going to go wrong. I don't know if I picked them undefeated preseason, but I'm pretty sure I picked them with a win over Bama. So I at least felt good about that. Somebody else can go check that or whatever, but I'm pretty sure I had them at least like 11-1, but the key win, of course, being Bama to get to Atlanta.
The only game that scared me, well, I wasn't scared, but I was a little nervous, was halfway through the Auburn game.
Yeah. That defensive line was no joke.
But it was also the weather. Remember, it was sloppy. It rained all day long. The field was sloppy. I was like, we couldn't utilize our speed in certain spots, and that game worried me. And they took us to the brink. But all right, man, real quickly, you get to identify these 5 stars. You rank these 5 stars. Who was the best athlete that when you put your eyeballs on them at a camp or at a game, you said, hey, that is a dog. They are going to be the absolute truth. Who is that one player for you, Billy?
I think Kyler Murray. I actually got a chance to watch him in when I was at SMU going through. He played some of his final games at Allen, and he never lost a game as a starter.
No.
Just rewrote the record books. And I mean, he was a magician. So I watched Kyler. That was pretty cool. I'll say I've got to give a shout out to Derek Stingley. I mean, he's like the best LSU guy that I've seen just on the field. I know his level of competition wasn't the same or anything, but he was like the most dominant. And then one guy that I've also got to shout out is another defensive back, but I saw Peyton Bowen play about 5-6 times last year, and I thought he was like maybe one of the best players I've seen like lately as well. So he's a new one that's coming through too.
Peyton Bowen, I don't know.
Yeah, he's at OU now, but he's up at Denton Guyer. He was a 5-star. He's really, really good.
Oh yeah, that kid out of Denton Guyer. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he would be the guy that just flash across the screen and grab an interception. He'd return a punt 90 yards. He'd just do it all. I mean, he was just filthy. So.
Yeah, LSU fans ain't gonna like this one because I'm family now. But the recruit I saw with my own eyes that took me to a different place was Julio Jones. I was at Hoover, Alabama.
Oh, okay.
And I saw Julio Jones climb the ladder in the 7-on-7, and I was like, who is that kid? And the dude was next to me, he was like, you don't know who that is? I was like, no. He's like, man, that's Julio Jones. And then from that
point, he was about 30 back then already.
Man, Julio Jones was different. He was built way different between him and Dez Bryant. All right, Billy. Well, man, we appreciate you so much. We got to get you back, Billy, because I got so much stuff I want to go through.
We've got other things to talk about. Another round of initiation we'll have to do. We'll have to do, the championship round. We'll have to do all those things.
Yeah, so. we got to do it all over, man. But let's get them up out of here because you've been a pleasure, bro. I'm telling you took me down memory lane. I'm super excited. But the title of the show is You Got Next, Billy. So it's all about identifying individuals who are doing things now, but we also have a long road to go. When you sit back and you talk with your wife and you put these things on a vision board, what does it look like for Billy Embody? What does the future look like for you? And what do you see up next for yourself?
Yeah. I honestly, I love what I do. I like the spot we're in. And the cool thing is every year's different. Every team's different. And the recruits change and the people that you interact with on a day-to-day basis change. And so, I mean, honestly, like, somebody could come out and offer anyone in my type of a role a promotion and say, you can be a national guy and you can do this and you can do that. But I think there is a line to walk in terms of, monetary, where you could say, all right, we're going to build the best damn LSU site and SMU site, and they're going to be the best sites, viewed as such with some of the greats in our business. And that's going to work out monetarily. And it's going to be super gratifying. And then, you can grow old with some of the people that subscribed and all those things. And so I think that's the cool part. There's so much pressure, I think, on the national guys now. And that's great. I just don't know how for some of these guys, you got to be wired differently, but I would love to do that, but I think being able to connect with a fan base a little bit more is what brings me back to just honestly loving what I do and just trying to pour it back into the 2 sites we got going. I mean, we're in a really good situation with On3 and what they do for us. And so I would definitely, the next step would be being a national guy, and I'd love that. I think being able to cover the best of the best day in, day out would be fun, and also identifying sleepers and doing all of that. But when it comes down to it, I like connecting with the fans and knowing like the history and saying, all right, like we've been at this for so long together. All right, man, like, hey, you cool it on the board a little bit. You've known you for a decade now. You're just getting a little out of line. All those little pieces and dynamics of these communities, like, that's what I love. And two solid fan bases to do it with.
So I tell you what, if you're not subscribed to a message board, I don't care what fan you are, what team you're a fan of, please subscribe to Bengal Tiger. You will not regret the nonstop entertainment. It is, it is, I keep it just to read the comments on a Saturday night. I'm telling you, it is an emotional roller coaster. So y'all gotta sign up and become a member of that message board. But KT, let's go.
So do you have any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, I got to shout out my wife. I mean, Michelle, she lets me do this job, and I really, really appreciate it, because like I said earlier, it's different every day, and there are times when, it's fun. You're covering college football, college basketball, all these great sports, college baseball, whatever, and you're on cloud nine because of that, and you're feeding off it. But at the end of the day, you could be a more 9 to 5. You could be a more, corporate, and just kind of, maybe even make more money. And so anyone who does this job, you've got to have a great support system and partner. And I've got that in Michelle. I've got to shout out my folks and shout out my brother, his new wife, Darby, as well. So my mom, Charlotte, my dad, Derek, my brother, Andy, awesome support system as well. And just helped us be able to pursue our passions. So that's who I've got to shout out. Love all the guys that I work with at LSU, Matthew Bruni and Shea Dixon, and the whole On3 national team, and our bosses, and Shannon Terry, and his vision has been awesome. And then Jordan Hoffeditz, Kevin Longquist on the SMU side. So it's a great family, great group of people I'm lucky to be surrounded by.
Hey, real quick, you mentioned that your wife was carrying.
Yeah.
Has the baby came yet, or?
Yeah, next month, Jack Ryder will join the Embody crew.
You gonna get him a little founder's hat so he can?
Yeah, I know. I told Shannon when I told him, I said, look, we're gonna need a onesie. We're gonna need an On3 onesie. So
that's dope, man. Welcome. Hopefully he'll be able to look back and see this and see what Dad was doing at that time.
We'll put him to work on transcribing some interviews at some point.
There you go.
Some kids mow the yard. Journalist kids, they transcribe interviews.
All right, so this is the part of the show where you get a chance to call out the person that you think should have next. Tell them, hey, I got a chance to rock with B. Jones and KT. I told them my story. I want you to do the same thing. With that said, Billy, who you calling out? Who should have next?
Yeah, I'm going to call out my old roommate in Baton Rouge, Brandon Seho. He is a former sports reporter who has now turned to sharing his mental health story on the Mental Game podcast that he started. He's had some really cool stars on there. He's had Terry Crews on there. He's had Robin Williams' son, Kaylee Hartung, Zach Taylor, I think, of the Bengals. I think he joined them, Joe Thomas. So he's had some pretty cool guests. He's sharing his story about his mental health journey, and heartbreaking at times, knowing him and how close we are. But he's a really interesting person, and how he's developed what is, something that nobody should have to go through and battle through, and he's turned it into something that he can help other people with. So I think he should, without a doubt, have next. And he might, mix things up a little bit more than I do. He's a little bit better on trendy music and all different sports. I'm a little bit more in my lane of country music and football. And
you did great, man. You did great. And thank you for that recommendation. Seho?
Brandon Seho.
Brandon Seho. Tell the world that you are up next, my guy. Your ticket just got punched. You are now officially on the clock. We are going to be reaching out to you so we can get you on the show in the year of the mama and tell your incredible story, Kevin. I got the goosebumps on that one. I'm pretty excited about that one. But Billy Embody, let's catch a body, my guy. You got next. You are the truth, man. You are icon. You are trailblazer. Hey, anything you do, let us know. We're going to support you 10 toes down, man. A huge fan of your work. You are so creative, and you one of the hardest working guys in this game. You are extraordinary. You are elite. You deserve a yeet. Oh my God, back at it again. LSU, SMU. Y'all show us some love, man. We want to thank y'all for watching another fire episode of Sports Life Talks. You got next. We appreciate all the support. We need you right now. This is your chance to become a 5-star MVP of this podcast. Make sure you throw the rolling emoji, eyes down, chain thing in the chat. But we need you to smash that subscribe button. Share this with all of your people. And make sure you hit that like button so we can make some noise and tell the world how dope On 3, Bengal Tiger, Pony Express, and all of these amazing things. And if you want more from Sports Life Talk, we want to give you more. We're going to keep pumping out shows, more guests. Make sure you tap in with us at Sports Life Talk, all one word. And if you want to be on the show, if you got a story, we will audition you to be on the show. Go to our website, sltugotnext.com. Click on nominate. Tell us why you think you deserve a shot to be on the show and why you feel like you got up next, and we are going to make it happen. And lastly, y'all know you out there watching this on YouTube, gracias, we appreciate it, but I'm a podcast guy. Billy's a podcast guy. Y'all take your podcast, take You Got Next on the road, in the car, in the gym, in the kitchen. It don't matter. You can listen to the smooth, sultry sounds of the mouth of the South B. Jones or the velvet tones of the head coach KT. Download on Spotify or Apple Playlist, wherever you get your podcast, you can get You Got Next and take it on the road. KT, I had a great time today, man. I feel real good about this show. I can't wait to watch it back myself. I'll let you sign us off, sir.
Now, during this whole show, I was thinking it's not Nicole Kidman. It was Renee Zellweger.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I was trying to find a way to put it in the show because I know if your people
you did
watch
great.
Billy, they're gonna be like,
If anybody wants some good old fashioned 90s humor, Google Renee Zellweger Family Guy, and it's one of the Family Guy bits on Renee Zellweger. I don't know if you guys watch Family Guy, but
Love Family Guy.
Okay, all right, cool. Then give that one a Google, and you'll laugh. It's just 90s movie fun.
Well, Billy, thank you so much for rocking with us, man. Whatever you need from us, please let us know, and we got your back.
I appreciate you guys. This was a blast. Thanks so much, and I'll be sure to share it. Share the word that Seho's up next.
I got to show special love to Sweet Larry.
Yes.
Pigskin
Sweet.
Gumbo. Hey, GT21, Minnesota Tiger, STTD. Y'all all know who you are. If I didn't say your name, I know I'm going to get killed, but I appreciate all of y'all too as well. Hey, Sports Life Talk Nation, we love y'all. Stay safe, be blessed, respect each other, and love one another, because together we are better. And keep dreaming big, y'all, because you never know. Your story may be the next one featured on Sports Life Talks. You got next. Yeet.
I knew you had next, because you always working, you always grinding, you're in your bag because you're always working. Like, in due time, I knew you got next. Oh, you did it, huh? Crack the code. You got next, you smashing goals. You want next, you need exposure. Well, Sports Life Talk got the baddest show, like the baddest in the room. Podcast to tune into just for you to talk your shit. Talk your mushroom. You are what you eat and you should consume. Sports Life Talk from the late night to the afternoon, then rest repeat. Hit the like, leave a comment, or subscribe so you don't miss a beat. You got next is a small taste of a winning meal from a chef type of celebrity. What's up next is you, at least you better be. Yeah, you got next, yeah. I can feel it, you're a winner just like me. You got next, and what comes next? Tune in next time and you'll see. Cause if you got next, yeah, if you got next, then you're just like me. If you got next, yeah, if you got next, then you know where to be. I'm talking Sports Life, talking this.